This matchup, Clement, I know as we go into ban pick, we're going to be looking towards Khan, the Shy. We're running right into this one, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it, but tell me what excites you as we go into the first pick and ban of LPL 20 Spring.
So my predictions for FPX were they were going to ban Aphelios, Akali, and probably the Vladimir, if not in the first phase, then in the second and third phase, the later phases of the ban picks. And for IG, you can see a very strong focus onto Doinby.
Yeah,
Nautilus, that is a mid lane champion.
Even
for
the
FPX.
Pantheon there, Clement, you know how he plays the Pantheon too, so it's much like IG to start targeting correctly, and a blue side Kiana, I know piques your interest.
Yeah, this one was really important because Ning did not play a single time of Kiana during Worlds or in Season 9, and in that series against FPX, they constantly had to ban it out on the blue side, so seeing the potential for Ming to maybe pick that champion up will patch the holes that they missed at Worlds.
Remember, we are in 10.1, ladies and gentlemen, as well, so it's what you've been seeing across the board. We're just further along with the Silas changes, and Diana, of course, in 9.24 as well. The Misfortune, the first pickup here for FPX for the bottom lane.
Highest win rate champion that we've seen in the Demacia Cup, over 69% there, and she's just very, very strong in the bot lane. With the way alcoves have been shaping up, we've seen more and more of the AD carries trend towards semi-bruiser-ish builds to survive. It's very volatile down there, and I just think Misfortune's laning strength is what's keeping her in the meta.
Well, if you're talking about using the alcove, Jarvan could do that quite nicely there. So TN picking up a fan favorite for FPX, right back into the same position.
And now is really interesting to see where IG will put this Kiana. We know that Rookie can definitely play it. The big question is, can Ning actually play it now?
True.
So, you know, they're leaving their options wide open here. There's still a couple things that we've been seeing in the meta right now. Has been Olaf, a very high priority on that champion, and it was also Ning's best champion, but I guess they're not going to show their hands for now.
That's an interesting first pick there. You're going to see the Rumble come out the Brom as well. Now for Southwind, always picks up the Brom, or at least used to in Beachy Gaming. The Rumble here, but which lane?
Yeah, the Rumble was really popularized by Doinby. We saw the Predator Rumble basically dominate, and recently Rookie has been spamming that in solo queue as well. So trying to give Doinby a taste of his own medicine. You have to play a little bit more passive in the early game, but once you get your boots rolling, it's just so damn powerful.
It was also the pick that smashed IG in Game 1 at World Semifinals as well, so IG trying to send some of that love right back. But Doinby knows what he loves, and he loves the Rise. You're going to see it here in Game 1.
It was his most feared champion during the entirety of Worlds, his most banned as well, outside of the Pantheon, of course. But this champion really allows Doinby to have more of a late game presence. A lot of times when he plays Bruisers, the problem is that you fall off, but with Rise, that doesn't really happen. You continue to scale with your mana and your side lane ability.
And when the identity of FPX has been about roaming bot, making those dive happen, you know, the 4 versus 2 that was explained so well at Worlds, that facilitates that even better here for FPX. But we're moving into the second ban phase nice and quick. 80 carry bans here targeted by FPX.
And this is actually what we expected, because Puff is that exceptional of a laning 80 carry that FPX are throwing 3 bans his way. LWX has, you know, gone through finals without a single death, but on his team, actually, Doinby doesn't rate him even that highly in terms of laning mechanics, so we can see a more defensive posture coming for FPX when regarding their bot side.
Well, the Leona is coming in to facilitate that, Clement, so you got the MF Leona bottom lane. A lot of protection here and a lot of range to play with, but how do you close that gap? How do you build against this Leona for the bottom lane of IG?
I think they might be forced to go with something a little bit more defensive. As I say that, the Kog'Maw hover is happening right there. I think Caitlyn is fine. You just want to get out a little bit out of range, but what they're really looking for is setting up for that Drake fight. The crowd control is there in the Kiana, the Braum, and the Rumble. That's a massive layering of crowd control that they can throw on. And I like the Senna a little bit more here, just because she can throw out that last embrace. You can chance and engage and force FPX into an early team fight.
Puff had an exceptional time in Demacia Cup. IG didn't make it through groups, but Puff played out of his mind on Senna. So definitely quickly becoming a comfort pick here for Puff. Aatrox was the final lock in there for the top lane, you have to assume. And now for FPX, they have the counter pick available.
Yeah, let's see what Khan wants to take up against the Shy. Aatrox is pretty foolproof. You can't find a lot of counters against that, and we're going to see a much more conservative pick here coming from Khan, not really directly challenging the likes of Aatrox in lane, but honestly, Ornn, he's the most played top laner on 10.1, and he's probably the most overstated tank we have right now.
True.
Just the additional tank items you get at level 12, that's almost 3k free gold you get from his upgrades.
I was just going to say, the scaling element has really been piled on here for FPX. Outside of Misfortune, the Rise, the Ornn itself, what it adds to the team, they stack on in those team fights, Clement, and FPX are playing true to their win condition.
And this is pretty fun from FPX because they're taking the challenge from IG. They're looking at IG with this layered crowd control and this clear potential to spike during Drake fights, and they're answering it head on. They have a great front line here in the Leona and the Ornn, and they have an artillery piece in the Misfortune. So they're willing to go head-to-head right at the get-go.
I think we have to have a look here, though, Clement, because I see Rumble in the jungle, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
You have Qiyana mid on Rookie, Aatrox in the top side. We will just confirm that as we get into game, but for Ning, that would be a great way to start the split. Throw everything out the window and bring 2020 into an exciting reality.
And that would actually be the first Rumble jungle that we see from him, too. We haven't seen him go for this pick in Season 9 whatsoever, so definitely a bit of a new pick, but I'm a little bit surprised here. We've been seeing a lot of the Rumble mid lane just because you get wave clear really early on.
Xiaohu, doing big.
Yeah, everyone's been building it. The double pen early Predator build is great. You can proc Predator with your Equalizer from so far away. You're so impactful as well. So I would be a little bit surprised if it's actually going to be the Rumble jungle.
What I do love, though, is that at least for IG, with Rumble and Qiyana on the same team, we did see this at Worlds out of FPX against Invictus Gaming, was Qiyana ultimate goes out, locks down the members of the enemy team, and the Rumble ultimate goes right on top. It's an easy wombo, and I will correct myself. They did fix it in the end. It is going to be Qiyana in the jungle, Clement, so I don't have to throw you a hard one to kick us off.
Yeah, and what we're looking for is for FPX to kind of get an early lead. Rumble is a champion that's very punishable. We've seen bad things happen to this Rumble when he tries to push the lane early, so I do expect a little bit of a slower start from IG and then to ramp it up when they hit the level 5, level 6.
Okay, you were talking about Dragons. That's where I'll keep my eyes peeled as we run into the very first game of the LPL 2020 Spring, the rematch of the World's semi-final. And they stop. And they stop. A pause to kick us off.
There's always going to be a bit of tech difficulties when you open up the year like this. But
chanting anyway.
We can talk a little bit more about these two on screen. The interesting thing about Khan joining FPX is he does have a very long history actually playing in China. After his stint on Prime, he came over to WE Academy. We saw him in QG Reapers as well. So he does have experience in the LPL and the LDL itself.
That's right. It's been a while. 6 years. Including this year, if you count going all the way back to 2014 summer. So good to see Khan's return rather than just kind of his debut in the LPL itself.
Yeah, and this was such a good sign for FPX. You know, they shore up their domestic bases. They basically weakened their most threatening international opponent in T1 at Worlds. This is they were much more worried about T1 than they were about G2 based on their scrim results. So this is just, it works so many ways, and they also cover their bases in giving Gimgoon, you know, he's been having hand injuries, wrist injuries for a while right now. They make sure they have a suitable replacement behind that, and they actually only signed Khan for a single year, and they're giving themselves a lot of maneuvering space if it doesn't work out, too.
Okay, well, that's very interesting. I'll have to see how that develops, because when you think about year contracts, you go, what's the plan in the future? What are they going to do? Because Khan and Gimgoon are very different top laners.
Yes.
Gimgoon was thrown against a wall. People threw bricks at him, and he had to dodge 1v5.
Gimgoon was that type of pressure absorption player. He basically said during Worlds that I don't know where I'd be without game playing. So he basically took the punishment in the top lane, and you could see FPX in their games against IG, they were always saving their red side counter pick, their last pick for Gimgoon. They weren't necessarily trying to pick a counter pick, but they were just trying to make it sure that they weren't going to have the lane collapse.
Which is kind of the same here with Khan, isn't it? The Ornn, the final pick here in game number 1, as we do finally return, and it starts with an FPX invade. Of course, it does flash over the wall with the Zenith Blade. A good follow-up and a good summoner burnt to kick us off.
Yeah, early flashes down, and that's going to open a lot of gank opportunities into the bot lane. We do have to remember right now that you can't hit level 3 on the blue side, so what that means is Tien could even go back to his own jungle, take his 3 camps, and still head bot.
Okay, FPX with a red start then, so if he does pick up that camp, we'll track the pathing. Getting a quick look across the board. No Omni Stone, that's the first thing I noticed. Of course, you're never going to see that. But you've got Phase Rush on Doinby. So once again, focus towards the movement speed acquired in that mid to late game.
And a couple interesting choices right here. We're not seeing the Predator Rumble that's going to roam around. It is going to be the Comet. And Khan's just going to pretend like nothing is happening here.
Doesn't even walk backwards, doesn't blink an eye, says, yep, that's what we expected. So vertical jungling to kick things off. It's how they transition, go towards that second buff that you have to watch.
And we can see that IG's bot lane is very much aware of the potential level 2 gank right here. They're sticking close to their Krugs and making sure it doesn't happen.
Well, slow early start here. The Krugs were started from what I could see, or rather Raptors, but some deep warding put out as well. Rookie playing safe in the mid lane just to stay away from that Jarvan early level 2, but he's going towards the bottom side instead. Zenith Blade's going to land once again. Crisp is only level 1, that's the immediate flash, but Southwind doesn't have his summoners available, Clement, you're right. Ignite will be dropped down, he'll burn, and now the bottom lane has absolutely nothing from IG.
Yep. Well done from Southwind. He held on to his Guardian, participating that there may be a chance of a level 2 gank there, and they do get out with a bit of HP. But like you were talking about, with all the summoners gone, this is going to be a repeat scenario.
And remember, it's vertical jungling, so this is just going to be so good for FPX. Tien now going to his blue buff. Should be able to pick up 3 with the Gromp as well. I know you're talking to me with the XP changes there, Clement, so there's a lot of advantages FPX can play through the early game.
Yeah, you do have to note that it's possible to just do 2 buffs and also head to your Gromps for level 3 right now. You feel that a lot if you're playing blue side top lane these days. The jungler does come a lot more often. And it will change around jungle path. It will change jungle pathing quite a bit. I think the more creative junglers are going to find a lot more gank opportunities in this new patch.
This is creative pathing then, Clement. This fits in perfectly to what you're saying, because Rookie is in trouble. He's going to get locked down, flashed on immediately. Zenith Blade to follow up. The chain CC from FPX makes for a nice first blood.
And this is the FPX memo. You always start roaming as soon as possible. It's less about the laning phase and more about the early roam potential. Great flash there by Chris just to make sure that lockdown was a full chain CC and nothing could break Rookie out of that.
And Doinby is ahead. That's first blood going to the mid-rise. He already has 6 CS extra under his belt. So this should be an early tier to start stacking up against Rookie.
Taking a look at Senna's runes right here, we typically see 2 builds. One of them is the Glacial Augment, and the other one, we do see a lot of the Dark Harvest being selected right here. Obviously, with the Braum, you have that potential to create multiple slows and just stun people. This is a rune choice that really helps when you have those gank potentials. And now we're seeing a big feature of Season 10 is that it's very hard to fully ward when you're behind in the bot lane. Bot lane has become so damn volatile.
And they still don't have their summoners as well, do they? Flag and Drag is available. Tien does it before he gets rooted down. Southwind jumps back and actually survives for now. The turn available if they can get Rookie in time, but I don't think he's nearby just yet.
Do find the last embrace right here. Rookie coming in, but I doubt he's going to find a kill. No level 6 here.
Yeah, that's right. Level 5 at the ready. Gets an Electro Harpoon. Ning is here as well, just to give some pressure back to IG's bottom lane.
And this is something that you're going to see a lot in competitive play. With the alcoves and the 3 brushes now in the bot lane, it's very hard for a losing bot lane to actually push out. You don't have enough wards to even cover all the potential spots that winning bot lanes are going to be hiding in. So you're going to see a lot more mid laners and junglers helping out with that bot lane, making sure a losing bot lane can still push themselves out and reset the wave.
And you know what really sucks for IG's bottom lane is that with that in mind, Tien is still down here. He's been vertical jungling the whole game, hasn't made his way to the top side, but we'll have a quick look at how this almost came to be.
That EQ combo coming in, we see the...
He disappeared!
That should be a spectator bug. What happened right there is, the blackness happened, and you do gain camouflage, and you are obscure. So what that means is that you cannot be targeted by auto attack, and it is kind of a get out of jail free card for Senna.
Don't worry, when we first got Mordekaiser, remember the rework came through, and everyone's like, I cannot see who's in the Death Realm, so we'll get there eventually. But a safe call here for Southwind. Now has his summoners back up and available on the level 3 Braum. So that should be a bit better for IG's bottom lane, but you can see where the gold lead's originating from. That bottom lane that has been shoved out constantly, but also Doinby, who's got an early 10th CS lead.
Yeah, still doing very well in the lane, and this is just showcasing that, you know, Joinby can play one of the more scaling side of this matchup as well. Everyone right now is just gearing up for that big level 6 that's going to happen soon.
Well, speak of the devil, we're not quite there yet, but the Shy is 6 in this top lane. Tien, 5, gets spotted on a ward, still wants to make his way in. The flag and drag on top. Here comes Ornn's Horn, right on top of the Shy, who gets a bit of life still, but bashed for a second kill for FPX.
Very clean kill right there, and I was actually a little bit surprised the Shy still stayed around there. There was actually no reason for him to do that. He already spotted Tien on the ward, but he still thought he had the mechanics to get away from the Ornn.
Maybe thought Ning was coming in after him, but still no level 6 on the Kiana, so the Shy is going to drop there, and now for Invictus Gaming, their solo lanes are in a bit of trouble. FPX are starting to build up this early game.
Yeah, and everything that we want to see from FPX is really just snowballing that bot lane. I would say just do it one more time. You know, Tien still has his Cataclysm.
Yep.
Ning hasn't hit level 6. This is a prime opportunity to get summoners from the bot lane and just snowball it into the first Drake. If FPX can control the Drakes even against IG's composition early, I feel like they're in a very steady position with the scaling they have as well.
And with another game coming to that bottom lane, look at what LWX just picked up. That's an early BF sword here on the double Doran's Misfortune. So it's an impactful buy, one that'll take Puff out of the waters. And with 6 almost up, bullet time just about to hit. So FPX looking for that roam towards the bottom lane. You can see Doomby frees up his lane once again, looking to pick up the blue buff, and there's no wards in the river to spot them if they want to go down.
Ning's going to tick 6 after this Krogs, but the entire river is covered in FPX wards at this point, so it's a very good opportunity at FPX to use this and just start going on the Dragon.
We are starting with an Ocean this game, so no Ocean Soul there for either FPX or IG. But speak of the devil, the Shy still trading very well up here, and 20 CS advantage. So even with the gank, the Shy finds himself in a comfortable position.
And we do see Khan playing a very similar role to Gimgoom this game. You know, he's just going to hang around, and we are going to see the Ice Fist actually come out.
The Ice Fist?
Yeah, that's the masterwork item.
Oh, right. Isn't it Frozen Fist?
Oh, Frozen Fist. My bad. He has so many different items.
Oh my god, that's such a cool lad. We have some cool stuff here in the LPL. Let me just say, while we have a lull moment, that our intro, I think, was the sickest I've ever seen.
That's Wahaha. Water.
That's great.
Fruit water for you.
That's fantastic.
If you ever come to China, you could take a sip of that.
Get some Wahaha.
Good warding here.
Oh yeah, Chris going to be spotted out on one of his many roams, so very deep ward from the Shy.
This is what we've seen in the Demacia Cup a lot of times. Senna, though, still open. She is considered somewhat countered by Misfortune. You can push her in during the laning phase.
Well, hang on. That's going to be World Ender on top of Khan, trying to make his way out, gets dunked down one more time. Conqueror is fully active, so the Shy can keep going forward, but doesn't have the damage yet to kill.
And this is going to require multiple visits from FPX to actually equalize here. A big change in Season 10 is that the Herald now spawns a little bit sooner at 8 minutes.
And you can get 2 of them, remember, so this might be the first one for IG. They forced out Khan in the top side, and now
Rookie's
FPX
unspotted.
Might be walking into a trap. That's right. 4 versus 3 at the ready. Misfortune isn't there yet, but Herald resets. That puts some time on the clock for FPX.
Yeah, and FPX are very aware of Rookie's position.
Rookie's going to go over the wall just in time. The flag drag to follow, but Tien is by himself until Doomby flashes over. The carpet gets laid down, but it's in a horrible position. The Shy doesn't need to go forward. Herald is still being done, mind you. Ning takes it by his own as FPX look for the fight. Straight onto South when he flashes immediately. The ult comes through, and many at that make it rain into bullet time. LWX gets number 1. Khan gets number 2, and IG have bitten off way too much as they run up to the top turret. You know that Khan and Chris will not die under it. An easy double and throw another to Doomby.
4 members killed in that one. I think the biggest mistakes for IG right there is that they did not layer their ultimate. The equalizer was forced out very early on in the fight, and then the Kiana ultimate from Ning actually didn't layer up with any damage. That left them wide open for the Wombo combo coming in from FPX.
LWX just made it rain at the end of that fight. And FPX with a very solid lead in this first game, 3,000 up. And off that fight, they'll be able to pick their first item up as we look again.
Yeah, this was a really smart play by Tien, knowing that Doinby could follow him over the wall. They get the first ultimate, and look at LWX. He's literally unchallenged right here. He has a solid front line in front of him, and he's able to just dish out damage. Tien even gets out on the other side as well. So IG's solo lanes are nowhere in this fight, and that AoE should have been layered coming in from the Aatrox and the Rumble, but none of it was present. Great splitting by FPX.
Yeah, and nice coordination from Khan at the tail end of that fight. Sets up the Misfortune with his ultimate. Walks through, Khan picks up the double too. So FPX, solo lanes at the ready, and also the Misfortune, LWX, has himself the BF Sword, the Caulfield's Warhammer, almost towards the Essence Reaver first up.
That fight would have looked so different if it was not for Crisp. He had the presence of mind to go check up the ramp and know that if Rookie was flanking there, they might not have gone out there alive. So it was a really smart play by FPX and just demonstrates the mastery of objective taking.
That's right. I mean, FPX are coming off Worlds hot. They didn't play Demacia Cup whatsoever, as in their full roster. And right now they're showing that they're still at the form that we saw in the World Championship. IG having to fight back now, push towards the mid lane, but they can't over push. They can't see where Crisp is. They don't know what Doinby is doing. Now LWX by himself in the top lane might have to burn a flash.
Okay. A little bit of a mistake right there. Could have waited for his teammates just a little bit. IG will have a big juicy target to kind of take down.
Yeah. Especially at this point in the game, getting towards the 12-minute mark. But they are looking for the Shy. Flag and drag, Cataclysm once more. Solar Flare flashed away from. So the Shy will live, but with that key ultimate down, actually two. IG are looking to jump in. There's the ult again. The Supreme Display of Talent locks down Chris. He gets cornered and taken away. LWX has no flash from the last play and can't savor the moment. Tien gets bopped by Southwind, and IG immediately their first 3 kills of the game.
This just seems to happen every time these two teams face up against each other. FPX think they're ahead. They try to do something to the Shy, and it bites them in the behind.
You know what, Clement? I know where you were going. It's absolutely fine. They get the 3 kills. Now the Rift Herald is down, and if FPX stay, they are going to die. Herald gets a massive charge. Gold spread throughout. They're getting poked down, but confident they can stick around.
Yeah, there was no ultimate in from Ornn anymore, but they still managed to clear the wave there and keep everything surprisingly safe. That was actually one of the better uses of Senna's Blackness there, just getting into position coming in from River.
True.
Now, just taking a look at how this fight panned out, I don't think FPX actually got the Shy's timer, or else Tien would not have tried to do that play. They didn't really get the layering of CC, and they were left in a very bad spot.
As you're saying, the Blackness there. Couldn't see Southwind in the mix, but didn't really make a difference in the end.
This is a really good use of Braum as well. We've seen this in the Demacia Cup plus the Kespa Cup, where Braum is considered a good counter to the Misfortune during the teamfight phases. You can just have that unbreakable up and block out most of the ultimate damage.
Well, while we're in that replay, Mountain Dragon was taken, which means we do have an Infernal Rift coming up. So look for the explosive damage with the Soul, but FPX have set themselves up to get that Soul this game.
Yep, will be the Cloud Soul, based on the current Drakes right now. And this is one of the new features of the split as well, is that you can really snowball the game getting the Dragon Soul. I don't think Baron is the main objective anymore. It's actually going to be the 4-stack Dragon Soul.
Well, Clement, it's Infernal Soul, I'll tell you that much for this game, because the Rift is running red.
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay. Look, when you talk, it's like angels. It's like angels dancing in my ears.
Basic counting is hard.
Sometimes, yeah, sometimes. Tara's going to go down there for FPX in the bottom lane meanwhile, so as we're talking about Dragons, we've got a 4-minute timer, but it's time for IG to fight, apparently. Glacier Fish is going to come down again. The carpet on top. Great combo, but FPX turn it right around with the Cataclysm. Nick misses his ulti as a flash over from Doinby just to savor the fight. Chris gets locked down, but here's a Realm Warp to save his support. Doinby's a good guy.
A pretty equal trade jungler for support then, and the Shy's coming in deep.
He's actually going to flash on top. Chris gets the Zenith Blade. The Shy trades his life to turn rather than to run. FPX making the better call.
Yeah, definitely not worth it at that point. I liked IG's decision to engage right there. They knew they had the numbers advantage with LWX most likely going back for his Essence Reaver. So they just chose to go in without any vision into that brush, and they did get a single pick-off. But unfortunately, I think the Shy's direction there actually slowed them down a little bit. They could have gotten a bit more out of that mid lane tower.
Are IG trying to push the tempo, Clement? Are we seeing a team that are trying to force the issue now rather than the composition later against FPX?
Yes, I definitely think so. IG, if you look at Senna, she really doesn't have the sustained damage to kind of punch through these big tanks on like Khan if Tien gets more of his defensive items up, and of course a Leona as well. If you think about Senna's build, she's heavily into the lethality build, and that doesn't really lend you anything to kind of chip off the armor against the main tanks in the front line.
And remember as well that Doomby often builds a hybrid rise, so you've got the tank stats available, third, fourth item. But as we're talking, the Rift Herald number 2 is going to go down this time to FPX. So one apiece, they walk mid, looking to stop IG. I think we're brewing for another fight.
Yep, but IG are pretty well aware of the ultimate cooldowns right here. In these wombo combo fights, that's going to be the deciding factor. How you use ultimates, are they up? Can you layer them together? So, you know, IG keeping close eyes on the timer, was willing to go further and just push that additional wave.
They still haven't been able to knock down the mid turret. They've been trying for many a waves now. They've left it. Puff and Southwind get the shove. Here comes the reset from FPX. It's going to be the Kindle Gem picked up by the Jarvan. Bit of extra tanky stats for the next fight. And the Shy says, hello, Doomby, let's go right now. Good kiting away as Khan, just in case, drops his own form of the ult.
Yeah, very interesting timing right here. They're still going to have their ultimates up, but can Khan get out?
Ning does get the ulti down onto 2 members. Here comes the darkness from the center as Cataclysm turnaround. FPX still want to take it. They picked up the first member. Crispus waiting on the side, but the burst damage coming through. The Shy cannot be beaten right now. Doomby is low, but Chris jumping right back in. Messy as all hell as Rookie finds his path with a flash over the wall. Doomby starts hitting. Southwind blocks, but there's no way to follow up for now. Puff gets the heal off and FPX just call it quits.
Yeah, I like the idea of what IG were doing right there. If you look at the Drake timer, they were able to make a play there and still have all of their ultimates up for the Drake contest. So it was just trying to fish for kills, but once again, they overstep into vision that they don't really have, and they're punished by Tien coming in.
I love the fact that IG and FPX are just willing to tread on each other's toes to see the reaction. Yeah. That's what this game 1 feels like to me.
FPX Doinby, the OP player of the game so far. He's actually farming above 10 CS per minute at this point.
Okay. Well, best mid in the world, Mr. Clementiu.
Yeah, 11.2. I wonder if that stat matches up with the scoreboard that we're going to be seeing later.
Okay. All right. Well, I love the graphic down there as well. I think that's a magnifying glass that he's staring deeply into.
Doinby is probably the only MVP of a Premier region that actually had a losing CS score.
True.
Yeah, because he focused on roaming so much. So to see him have 11.2 is actually pretty amazing. It shows the difference in style that he can develop. He's
at 207 right now, so that further affirms that Doomby is kicking ass right now. 207, 404 on his rise, and a Righteous Glory is coming up next for his 3rd item.
Yeah, and it's only going to get worse. Look at Khan. If he hits level 12, he's going to get so many free gold here. IG have to contest this.
He wants to go into stealth mode. Infernal will be taken, and he steals it away. He'll die for it, but I tell you what, that's not too bad. Ning does some damage on the way out, but Infernal secured by Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, and that's going to delay the Dragon Soul for a further 5 minutes in this match. Not that IG actually wants it delayed, but you know, it's better than giving away the Infernal Drake at this point.
Sure.
I will say the teamfight dynamics have changed drastically from the original Drake fight. I don't think IG can take FPX anymore front to back. If they're going to win a teamfight, it's going to have to come through creative uses of Ning or the Shy, trying to find their way into the back line, maybe sniping out LWX first, and then going and dealing with the rest of the meat.
Because we look at the composition from Invictus Gaming, the pick potential is definitely there, and the layering of CC on a couple of targets rather than the full 5 versus 5 is possible. Rookie has to be careful. Every time IG gets caught out, this is going to hurt them. Double ulti down. Rookie tries to take a trade, and the ult from center comes up as well, but Tien does survive, and Invictus Gaming drop another.
Yeah, it's just way too easy for FPX to get catches at this point. They're running away with the scaling. They're running away with the gold leads at this point. And for IG, their only winning part, I would say, would be the Aatrox. They actually need the Shy in that split pushing to give them a little bit more chance to actually make catches around the map. They can't fight the 5v5 at this point. It's going to be too difficult for them to find the flanks.
There's just so much space given to FPX as well. So right now, IG have to be careful where they push. 4K gold lead here for FPX. The top turret just going down. That is all the outers destroy against IG.
This is a very good demonstration of why you always ban Ryze against Doinby.
Yes.
Traditionally, the weakness for FPX, and Doinby has said this himself, is that they fall off in the later game. When you're playing a Malphite AP, when you're playing an AP Nautilus, you don't have the tank stats to actually survive and deal damage at the same time.
Sure.
But with a champion like Ryze, you're the main shot caller, you can make semi-global plays, you can split push for yourself, unlike Nautilus and Malphite, and you see these massive CS leads.
He's got the Righteous Glory now. This is his third item, and I guarantee you with the Rod of Ages still stacking up, with the Seraph's Embrace fully complete, this Ryze is going to hurt, and it's going to be very hard to kill him. Level 14 over Rookie's level 11. So Doinby this time almost Flame Horizon him as well. Doinby's having a great start to the season.
Yeah, and then a lot of it really did come down to the early pressure they put on the bot lane and Chris then roaming to mid. We were talking about this in the draft. The #1 priority when you're picking a Rumble is you have to keep him safe until he can wave clear himself. IG didn't manage to give enough cover there. The bot lane bled out, and that's basically put Rookie in a hole ever since.
Really has. I love how FPX is standing where the brush once was. IG not walking too far forward, but FPX are testing them right now. Deep vision being placed, as you can see from Crisp with that ward there, and IG can't go and clear it because they know they're going to pay for it. They know that the picks are still coming out strong from FPX, and even Doinby right now under the turret. Look, this is Ryze. His Q just got nerfed and he doesn't care, but maybe he will if his jungler tries to jump underneath the turret. He's going to die, and I'm not sure what Tien was thinking.
Yeah, Tien just wanted to get the finish off kill, get the Kobe and go away, but the Shy definitely has good synergy with his Korean soul laner.
Yes, he does. At the moment, that is a much-needed kill for Invictus Gaming. Still 3,000 gold is the difference between the two teams, but every little pick right now matters. And every moment that can slow the game down, or at least push it back in IG's favor, is wanted.
Everything's riding on the Shy once more, and
yep.
honestly, we've seen this when these two teams play against each other. It does look like a lot of parts of the map are going to be outmatched, but the Shy is always that ticking time bomb. He needs to be able to split push. He's almost at that Flame Horizon himself.
True.
So if he can dominate a lane and get those opportunities for IG to then rotate around that, then they might find chances to get picks. Now, they're not going to win in the straight 5v5.
No way, but they still might want to force, and as you said, picks in the mid lane. Carpet's going to be laid down. LWX flashes Ning, misses the ult, but Chris in a lot of trouble. He solar flares, sets up the Misfortune ult. Senna throws down the Dawning Shadow, but the issue is Crisp and LWX not going to be the targets here.
Wow.
The flash away, Ning is just dead because Doinby says so.
Yeah, Righteous Glory comes in as well, and easy rotation coming in from there. Ning really missed a step right there. If he landed his ultimate, I think at the very least they should have been able to get Crisp from that fight, but great flash from him. They're out, and now they're setting up around this Baron.
Now, Crisp at half health, that's probably going to be an easy target for IG, but what do they pay because of it? Baron is at half health, the Shy jumps in first for Doinby. Righteous Glory at the ready, Tien jumps in once again, just a leg short. They've found Southwind, but the ulti comes through as well. They'll get him quickly. Turn for Puff. Here comes the Realm Warp on top of Rookie. It's 3 versus 1 as the Shy is looking to take down mid and the bottom lane. Doinby is low, locked down, and the Shy is trying to carry. LWX goes into stopwatch, and this is his moment as he dunks on the Shy. You could feel it, you could see it, but FPX deny it.
Oh, that was so damn close. FPX split up in the second half of that fight and actually leaves Tien open for the Shy right there. They still get all of the mop-up kills in the end, and really no foul, no harm. FPX are going to continue with their strategy. Let's see if Ning can get another steal.
I mean,
there's no jungler here.
Yeah, there's no jungler. This is going to be easy for him to smite away. LWX has to stop this now. Ulti comes out, but what? How does an Ornn take Dragon? All right, Ning. The world saw that, and they're probably not impressed.
Okay, that was not supposed to happen, but a good find right there from FPX, and they're just that one Drake closer to getting the Infernal Soul.
It's time for a replay, but not the replay I'm interested in. This was the fight that set FPX up again.
Yeah, this was a really smart one from FPX. They know that all of the ultimates were used from IG in the previous one, so they're okay to just force an engage, but the later half here was a little bit messy. They still got all of the cleanups at the end. And, you know, I actually wish that this was a little bit cleaner coming in from FPX. I felt like they could have snowballed the Infernal Drake without any chance of Ning stealing it, and they just got a little bit lucky being able to move away with it.
Well, they got an Infernal anyway, so that's all that matters. We do have across the board just a bit of an item uptake for you, because remember, in Champions League, we're talking about what Ornn adds to the late game. Misfortune with an upgraded Molten Edge now on LWX, and we've got the Sunfire Cape upgraded on the Ornn himself. So the money is starting to stack up for FPX, and it's only 26 minutes in the game.
Scaling, scaling, scaling. That's the name of the game right here. Everyone's going to get a free item from Khan up to level 16, and Khan himself is going to get 2. So that's a lot of free gold on FPX's roster. They have that untouchable front line, and IG's windows are basically closed now. Now, you might say that Senna has infinite scaling, and indeed, she actually has the highest win rate for 80 carries post 40 minutes because she can stack infinitely. But that's still a very, very long ways off.
Remember as well, just noted in the last patch, the ability to get a soul from farming has dropped significantly to about 1.76% to be specific. So it is harder to pick up your souls, increase your range, and increase the range of your piercing darkness as well. Right now, sitting on 3 items there is Puff, and has gone for the Mortal Reminder to stop the healing that's coming through, I believe, Clement, but also stop the tanks, the front line of FPX that we're talking so heavily about.
Definitely is the case here. Now,
does Doomby care?
This is a pretty obvious bait. The Shy still goes for it.
Oh, Realm Wob's going to be used, though, so ultimate for ultimate. You take that if you're the Shy.
It's a very interesting case right there. Actually, their own support was closer to rotating downwards, but they had some blows with the Shy and thought, you know, we could go for less riskier things. They don't really need to do this right now. They're in a commanding lead. Rookie cannot walk past the river himself. So for FPX, there's not a lot of reason to actually be forcing that.
Sure. It's happened once, it's happened before. Tian has really tried to push that bottom lane to its limits with the Shy in it. But now he's got a bit of freedom. He's now pushing out. He's still looking towards that Flame Horizon, which, by the way, has been achieved by Doomby in the mid lane. But Clement, I'll ask you a question. Which champion do you prefer to be more fed? Your Ornn or your Ryze?
I would say my Ryze for
your
sure.
Ryze? Now,
he's a damage dealer.
You look at that for FPX and say, I'm happy to take my Ornn 100 CS behind because he's still tanky as hell.
Still's going to get that perfect utility, and they're stacking up on Righteous Glories right here.
That they are.
That's pretty funny. I like the idea. Like, you give Misfortune movement speed to walk forward, she's going to have an escape against the people that are going to come from the back. Like, if Ning's coming in from the back, you actually give her a chance to actually run away from that, too.
Ning picks himself up at GA here at this point. We've gotten to a pretty slow point of the game where FPX happy to keep pushing forward. They're waiting for that 4th dragon to come, that last Infernal.
Yeah, and this is going to be a very easy setup for FPX. They have to run more potential to send someone back and just get that engage regardless. Let's say they send Tian back with his GA. If IG decide to check for Baron, they're 100% going to get that engage. So they're just in the setup phase right now. They have all of their core items. Look at LWX. This is the trap being laid. Will IG respond correctly to this? They have a great ward in the Baron pit that's actually not spotted, so there's no reason they should actually be walking into this trap.
Yeah, they don't need to check it, but Ning could possibly find a flank. He's going to clear out this vision, get spotted in the process. But FPX don't move. They're waiting in that middle brush, and Crisp is looking for the collapse. He has a great Solar Flare if he lands it onto Puff.
He's been completely unspotted. Here comes Tian.
Zenith Blade goes across 2 members. Here comes the Solar Flare eventually. The Ornn Horn locked into the back line as well. Ning and Puff are separated as the carpet finally comes down. FPX don't land the key ultimates, and now Khan is locked up into the air. They jump on him. He flashes away. Crisp is there as well. Tian eventually comes through. They set up the bullet time for LWX, but the damage just doesn't go down. They'll trade off eventually, but for IG, they are winning this fight. They have found the 80 carry, and Tian just has to pick up the remnants, which is so damn hard when the Shy jumps on you like that.
Oh my god, what a disaster for FPX. They went right in, but I thought Tian, the core piece with the GA, was going to be in that Realm Orb. He wasn't present. The bot lane is able to flash out, and that leaves the Shy open straight to the backline carries of FPX.
And they denied the Dragon Soul here. FPX have to wait for the next Infernal. That puts more time on the clock, and that means that, all right, we got to wait for the next 6 minutes unless Doomby can do something here. Southwind is low. He's starting to spread the disease known as Riseism. Puff gets at half health, but Doomby is way too low. He pushes them off. Puff is still willing to go in, but Doomby hits the dragon, picks up the explosion known as the soul, and Puff, even in his shadow, is going to get knocked up as well. IG get alphaed off the dragon.
Oh, that was such a close attempt there, but the two-man game, 2v4 from FPX, way too strong in that moment. You have to remember, that Rise is still uber-fed, and he doesn't have any problems with long cooldowns here. So we're going to see an AoE stack from FPX right now with the Infernal Drake Soul.
That's true.
Outside of their already pretty substantial lead.
Infernal Dragon Soul on the Rise as well. It's going to be super fun to watch. So bonus stats here for FPX. An Elder coming up. Remember, folks, 10.1 or even in the off-season, Elder now executes below 20%. As Tian says, thank you. So it's another condition on the board for FPX.
Yeah, and they have a lot of squishy targets that FPX can focus down. The lower your HP is, the easier you're going to be able to execute just with that Elder Drake coming in. And if you look at Rumble's build right now, he knows he has to turn this team fight with damage. There's no defensive Zhonya's here. He's going to be super easy to focus down. I think FPX, even with their failed engages previously, they're going to be even more brazen in these next couple of team fights.
I think they're feeling super safe. I mean, the Ornn's always going to add more money, but remember, the front line is getting beefier here for FPX. So if they fail, the ability to reset, the ability to continue in these long fights if they have to, gets better with time.
And they're also doing a very good warding job as well. There are no backline wards for IG, no opportunities for Ning to actually find a flank here. And with the waves push into themselves, you don't really see the Shy branching off. He knows the potential for a quick Baron, a quick engage is too high, so he's sticking with his team.
Well, Baron has begun. Now for FPX, this looks like it's going down pretty damn fast with the help of the Infernal Soul. Soulflare's going to stop the rest of IG, and that's Baron just gone. Now look at where Ning is. He pops the ulti. The carpet comes down as well, but Bullet Time gets sent on outwards. LWX is smacking. So is Doomby. The Shy can't carry this one, and FPX have taken it single-handedly with the triple kill going to LWX, and Rookie just wanting to escape this horrible place. He'll do it for now, but for FPX, they've solidified what this game is.
Yeah, and that was quite remarkable from FPX. They didn't even need the Ornn ult to win that team fight. It was just the stack of damage, the Dragon Soul there, and now they're just playing keep away for Rookie. He's not going to be able to defend his base here.
Yeah, there's big death timers as well. Ning not up for 10 seconds. Southwind going to follow suit, and Rookie stopped again, while LWX is going to be able to pick up an inhibitor here.
Insane display of how far ahead FPX actually were in that fight. They pretty much face tanked the Kiana ultimate.
He's still here.
Rookie alone.
And Tian, you know he's about to jump in. How annoying is this? Yeah, throw a teleport out. Rookie's like, I just want to go home. Khan is fast. That is a fast whatever Ornn's animal is. And Rookie's going to get bumped away. That is a disconstrued death timer now on the board.
I just want to see a replay of that fight as we pan across the broken corpse of Rookie.
Yes.
So FPX know they're on the counter engage. They're willing to face tank the entirety of Ning's ultimate, and it's completely fine for them. It takes so much effort for them to just take down Doimby, and LWX, he's untouched during the entire fight. The Shy goes in for one last bravado, but can't even get the edge of his sword onto LWX, and Rookie is just left playing on the map for the rest of the game.
It must be great having a front line like that for LWX, where he can send out the ult and have no fear that anyone's going to get to him. It's the third time that that ultimate has pretty much cleaved through the front line of IG and set him up for success. 7-9 now. The Molten Edge was already picked up before, but he's got 4 items. After the GA, went towards the Maw of Malmortius, and now heads towards the top lane with the rest of FPX, Baron buff in hand.
IG still have significant wave clear to hold this one off. Puff should have a lot of stacks. He gets 25 range per 20 stacks, so should be able to ward this off for now.
The issue is that as soon as FPX group towards 5-man in that top side, can they defend? The ultimate used just to stop the minion wave here. It will persuade them for now, but Puff, Solar Flare, Call the Forge God used. At least a couple of key ultimates down for FPX.
And LWX just brutalizes that tower down with raw AD damage. Almost only took her a QAQ.
But meanwhile, Clement, mid lane's channeling in. FPX can walk up to the inhibitor. Double inhib down now in game 1.
Very seasoned play by FPX. They bait out the ultimates. They wait their turn to go in. Just not a lot that IG can do. And I just want to mention that we are going to be seeing a lot more Orns. That's one of the biggest side effects of the Conqueror changes. You no longer do true damage. You instead have increased healing when you reach max stacks. And this has allowed some tanks to get a lot of breathing room, especially someone like Orn.
That's true. I mean, it was pretty interesting to see no tanks when Conqueror came out. People wondered why. But you're right. Orn coming through. I know there's other top lane tanks. We'll eventually see Malphite out of Doomby once he has his skin as well, but that probably won't be tank.
Probably not.
Probably not.
He did play at AP.
Not if he plays at mid, for that matter as well.
I think he did actually build a couple tank items in the end as well.
He was just looking hybrid, at it, like, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, well, you're a full AD team. This is a great pick.
That's true. And everyone gets a world skin because he played it as well. That's just the best part. Elder has spawned though, and FPX have started it up. If they get this Elder, IG can kiss the team fight goodbye before it's even begun.
They're going to have to rely on Ning stealing this one. I think that's the only scenario where they come out ahead in this one.
Blocked by the Brom once again. The counter to the Orn at 2k damage. They're looking for the kill. Ning does steal it away. Big moment for IG with the Elder execution. FPX might have to leave. The Solar Flare to stop them in place, but the Shy is persistent. He gets one execution but doesn't find the other. As jumping into the back line, ambitious as hell. 10 will go down too, and FPX actually lose the fight.
That was 1 for 3. IG pull out the miracle steal right there, and you can see how much that Elder Drake really does. The Shy goes in on LWX, who is nearly half health, and just one hit from his sword was able to proc it at the same time, and he gets the kill.
The game continues, Clement. Elder held on by Invictus Gaming. Well, now we have to wait another 5 minutes or FPX to find one of their big fights again, but IG always fighting back in this game, never giving us a dull moment.
Yeah, there were so many good plays here. First, Southwind actually blocks the Orn ultimate so they can continue to move on towards the Elder Drake, and Ning with such a good steal right here. Watch the Shy. He's sitting among a bunch of Stasis GA people, and he just goes in for LWX. The back line is gone. There's still a bunch of members on FPX, and Puff even finds the exit kill.
Yeah, that was one of the cleaner plays by IG. And you can see, even though we talked about scaling, being in favor by FPX, you look at Invictus Gaming, and as we mentioned, the Aatrox more than online. The Aatrox is doing a lot of work here in the hands of the Shire, but the ults from Rookie, Puff, now almost full build.
Unfortunately for IG, we do have to mention that the Elder buff only lasts for 3 minutes. It gives you 20% execution at low HP for the enemies, but unlike that, the Dragon Soul stays forever. Dragon Souls are like diamonds.
Yes. Great. Thank you, Clement. I know, because you just got married. That's in the back of your mind, isn't
really
it?
Expensive.
Okay, teleport's going to be used mid by the Shy. It looks like they're keying up for the fight again, because you look at the Baron buff sitting there and waiting, and IG have priority, so Doomby burns his teleport, but to the bottom side of the map, it's going to be the pressure of the turret. In fact, 2 TPs with LWX joining the fray. Oh,
they're forcing IG to make tough decisions right here. Tien is still hanging around for a possibility to get that steal, and IG have to respond to it. Their base is going down.
I mean, it's going to go down super quick. The Shy goes in, but Rookie hasn't burnt anything to get back. He's walked back.
They've been caught. Rumble got him.
The equalizer is there. LWX actually does go down. Doomby flashes on top of him. Finds the first one. Senna's going to bring in the ultimate as well, but the Shy should be able to take the 1v1. Doomby kiting left and right. The Solar Flare to help, but it's not in time. The Shy finds a kill. Flash burnt by Khan as well. IG have everything in the making to continue winning this fight. Crisp is caught out again, walking back to his team, and Puff destroys him. FPX have big death timers for 3 of their members.
Yeah, and that was just an unfortunate layering of the timers coming in from FPX. There was still 30 seconds on the Elder buff, so they didn't want to do a full contest onto the Baron buff, despite them having sort of a front-to-back teamfight edge. Instead, they go for the base race, and a great response from Rookie. Rookie catches them out.
That's right. And they weren't able to get one of the Nexus turrets there, Clement. So IG, they remain intact. They hit up this Baron. Khan and Tien are still here, but they don't have help for at least 15 seconds.
It's a pretty slow Baron take that we're witnessing right here. Not exactly the highest of sustained damage incoming from Puff.
Southwind doesn't have his wall. In comes Tien a little bit early, but goes in for the damage to Cataclysm on top of Puff, but they get destroyed. The monster is still alive in the Shy as the ult comes through, but not enough to take away the Baron. IG secure that, and 2 more kills.
I did not see this game coming to this point. I thought FPX was going to run away just with the mid-game. And now they're actually in a prime position to reverse the map. They're going to be able to push out much further than they've ever had. And with their Wombo combo, this is going to give a lot more opportunities for Ning to actually find the backline.
That's right, and with the Shy in that side lane that we talked about, Baron in the hands of this overly fed Aatrox. I mean, right now, FPX have to watch it. Because every moment that comes forward towards IG, they're throwing it in the air and somehow they're catching it.
Everything just started from Ning stealing the Elder buff.
Yeah.
Because that gave them a timer to extend towards the Baron contest, and now the Baron buff is going to extend back into the Elder buff. Now, the Elder buff doesn't stack like before, but it still does a lot of damage in those team fights. That 20% execution is nothing to scoff at, and you can see IG already setting up for that play.
Yep. Turret down here is going to help massively as well. Give him a bit more breathing room at the 42-minute mark. If the minions can do it, the answer is probably no. But you're right, they reset. We've got a minute until the Elder respawns, and Baron is available for a minute 40. So they're going to overlap, and much to Invictus Gaming's delight, they can push mid, they can push the side lanes with it, and set themselves up even more.
You really want to see how many stacks Puff has at this point in the late game. Puff, as a setup, you can actually just sit outside of turret range and contest.
Yeah, that's true. You got that much range. The Shy wants to go in onto Tien again. He gets pulled back. Remember, GA still available. Cataclysm in as it gets burnt down. Forge God is there, but
great equalizer.
FPX get burnt by Rookie. Doomby comes in towards the mid lane, takes things down, but the rest of FPX have to scatter.
Really good stun incoming. You saw the unroll chains there, and now the ultimate is used to wave clear.
But it does hardly anything. Southwind blocks it. They turn onto Khan. The Righteous Glory won't get him out of there. He's very, very low as Invictus Gaming charge mid. They find the inhibitor, but with 10 and 30 seconds on his death timer, they want to push in.
It's going to be a little bit difficult for FPX to finish the game. They still have the double towers at this point, and Ryze...
Oh, is it though?
Wait a minute.
Puff. Flashes on top of Doomby. The rookie 80 carry.
I was saying Ryze maybe could wave clear, but guess not.
FPX have one Nexus turret remaining. IG keep on going. Chris goes right on in, but I think that's the wrong call. Forge God to come through as well, but IG are healing back up. Puff has destroyed Mr. Doomby and Crisp in the making. Tien jumps in to die again. IG have an exposed Nexus, and they're going to take it. Puff is unstoppable, and Khan doesn't have the damage to defend this. He'll run back towards the fountain, and Invictus Gaming outclass the world champions in game number 1.
I'm absolutely speechless. IG looked like this game was over for them. They had an early Drake teamfight composition that didn't get any leads. The scaling was running away for FPX, but in those teamfights, FPX made a lot of mistakes. I felt like they got a little bit cocky with their lead. They didn't go in with the right combinations. The Ornn and Misfortune ultimate layering was always blocked out by Southwind. He did a great job on that Braum.
That was a great game 1. You have to admit, the way this was hyped up, the emphasis on this series after the 2 world champions from 2018 and 2019 meet, this lived up to the hype.
That was the first game I saw a team with Dragon Soul lose. I don't think it ever happened in Demacia Cup. It's such a powerful buff, and it lasts the entire game. I'm just speechless.
Yeah. Great start there. Having a quick look at the damage as well. I think LWX and Puff are going to have a great rivalry this season. There is so much to look forward to with these 80 carries going head-to-head, and you can see the bottom lane synergies that is building here in the LPL.
And that's why I actually still had IG very high up in the rankings despite their loss of Jackie Love. I actually thought that Puff fit right into the team.
Yep.
And in their matchup against FPX, the two teams know who has the better ADC just in the laning phase itself. You could see how much respect FPX had to pay towards the likes of Puff, banning out 3 of his champions.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, I got to say, though, what we saw in Demacia Cup, that does translate through to Puff.
Yep.
In the LPL in his first game on the new roster, he looks great on it. I think Senna, his power pick and making it look quite easy.
Yeah, definitely. Puff was the best performing ADC just statistically in the Demacia Cup as well, and he's always been the main carry on IG. I'm sorry, on VG. So coming to IG, they really haven't lost any of their damage profile. I think, in fact, they might even have a steadier bottom lane with Puff and Southwind together. And also, this game was a very clear indication that they learned from the lessons of the past.
Yeah.
They had that mid Rumble, and they had that jungle Kiana. Those were champion picks that we didn't really see from IG during their Worlds run. In their first day of the LPL, under their new coach, Coach Fly, they've definitely shored up all of their previous ban pick weaknesses.
And it looks like the synergy's still there for Invictus Gaming, where the bottom lane has changed. It's still the Shy, Ning, Rookie. And while Ning was 0-6, while Ning had a weaker start, still the Elder Dragon, still the key moments, layering with the Equalizer and Supreme Display of Talent. There were some good moments between him and Rookie, and the Shy, no doubt.
Yeah, definitely. I would say this is a very Ning game to watch. Like, he didn't do that well with his ultimate. I think there's a lot of things that you could point out that his ultimates were a little bit off the mark, especially in the team fights. And unfortunately, the Infernal Drake is kind of gonna ruin the terrain for you there. But in key moments, he always steps up. He's great at securing those Dragon Elder steals to keep them in the game. I don't know how he does it, but that was the key factor for this turnaround.
But he does. That's the main thing. And a great game one to open us here in the LPL Spring. We'll see if more antics are going to be coming by right after this break.